It is another wonderful Monday this March of 2023, making it a wonderful day for murder. But today, the murder that we are going to be looking at is not of my own design. I've had done with simul's, as you know, on those particular days. I don't really feel like jumping into another game. Instead, we're bringing you another game, a professional game, a game of good old KG. You all know KG. Y'all love KG. So that's someone we're going to be watching today. Just like many of you can watch my Patreon and get yourself some cool things for yourselves. Lesson time needs to open up. We've got some declined people. Yeah, I'll eliminate them. Don't worry. Don't worry. But the game review, you can get yourself a game reviewed every month if you so feel inclined. You can sign up for simul's if you're so inclined. And I think I've got an example of my study group that will be probably live on YouTube in case you've been thinking about that and you're not certain if that is right for you. So I'll have an example of what my study group is too, because I've had a few questions about that. So if you ever wanted to support me, you can go ahead, do so, get stuff in return. It's all good. These videos are because of y'all. All right, so we're looking at Mr. KG over here. Gotta love KG. And this story has a very, very sad tale for one player involved. But don't worry, this sad tale will act as a cautionary one for all of you. Because there is one person in this game, and I will not say who was up deep 90% to win the game. They had all but locked it out. And somehow, through two mistakes back to back, they threw. What did they do? How did they do this? And how can you learn from these mistakes to never do that in your own games? That's what we're looking at today. So we have good old, how do you pronounce that? I'm going to call him Lee. We have Lee playing black here. Nice. And we've got Mr. KG open up with the 3-3. Interesting. 3-4 from black. 3-4 from white. White is apparently someone that does not have any intention of getting 3-3'd. But does that mean they have every intention of doing the 3-3? Plot thickens. Black plays nice little enclosure, and white does not play the 3-3. All right, now we've got a game that's worth watching. Black backs off. White plays the attachment. It was gonna happen. It's fine. And from here, we all know what happens here. Black drops down. Interesting game yet again. What year is this game? This is from 2023. So black actually drops down rather than playing the connection. Every time I see this, I always wind up thinking to myself, I should do that more often when my opponents play the attachment. I just don't drop down often enough. But all right. White cuts, black turns, and we go and do the Atari. And everything here is as expected. So in exchange for essentially getting mostly a 3-3 variation, only a fully surrounded one, black gets some influence on the outside, but there's a little bit more Agi. Agi is king. That's what makes the difference between these variations. But it's okay. White knows what to do. Influence. Bong. Bing, bang, bong. Nice, simple, and easy. We're just going to play the star point to reduce the influence. Now, the important thing to take note of here is we are trying to make a handle on the influence. We have not gotten rid of it. You can't get rid of it with just like one move. It's something that you just can't do. If you're one of the corner stealers in today's meta, all you can do is reduce the outside. You can't get rid of it because that's just how Go works. Black plays a strong response. That way, even if there's a connection here, this has a base and this will have a base next turn. So both sides will be strong. Not bad. Also, if we play away, we don't suddenly have to worry about, easy settle here from the opponent. So, decent, solid. I will give credit where credit's due. So far, Black is doing okay. White takes himself the enclosure. Sente for Black, so we go ahead and profit. Look at the grand moves that White is playing. He is showing his strategy. White's all like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take huge corners right after stealing yours. Because right now I got like 36 points easy, and I'm reducing you. It's great. Where you have 40 points? Nowhere. That's where. Black says, check again, my dude. Here's where I have territory. Yeah, you want to count all that? You want to count all that? Yeah, that's going to be mine. Now, ordinarily, we would want to start reducing, right? Pretty quickly. Like, ooh, no, I want to. But you don't want to create a brand new group that you're looking after while you still have another one that you do, right? You don't want two weak groups on the board simultaneously, because then your opponent just like unsettles one, drives it towards the other. You do the splitting attack. Textbook, bish, bash, bosh. Bob's your uncle. So we're going to settle first. Bop, bop. Fourth line territory, not bad. Black says, you cannot settle here that easily, sir. Understandable, because if we said that they could settle here easily, it's like do, into do. Like, imagine how many points that could possibly be just from getting a base and settling. Like, that is way not good, right? If we played this way, your opponent gets like 15 points by settling, you're probably going to lose this game. If you keep making exchanges like that, that's just going to be not very good. Yeah, that just ain't going to be good. So we're going to go and invade. We're going to go ahead and invade because we don't want your opponent getting the 15 points there. It makes perfect sense. White does a little jumpy jump action. Okay, now we're threatening to surround the corner. We're making things happen. But so is Black, which White's like, you ain't developing all of that right in front of me. Okay. Hane cut. And Atari connect. And draw back Atari. And this is where things get interesting. So far, ask yourself if you think this is a even position for both players, or if you would rather be one player or the other. Because from here on, the game is taking a turn really, 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 really fast. Like, blink and you'll miss it. So from here, we have an easy position. Easy position for both players, in my opinion. I would probably prefer Black, by virtue of the fact that I would rather have the potential than the solid. Because, I mean, we have an corner enclosure here and a corner enclosure here. But keep in mind, that's not territory. Black can literally play at A and live. And we all know that there's stuff at B as well. So when you look at Black or at White's area, you got to be careful that you're not thinking, oh, well, he's got 20 points in one corner and 20 points in another, and he's got like 10 points over here. He's got like 50 points already. Like, no, he doesn't. That's not true at all. And I will say, who you're more comfortable with, depending on why you feel more comfortable with them, could be what you need to work on. Like, if you like, ooh, I like Black because of all of this territory. It isn't. So maybe you need to work on the reduction. If you're looking at white and saying, oh, I like white here because of all of this territory, it isn't. Maybe you need to work on that too. So it kind of gives you a hint on maybe what one of your weaknesses are. All right, so we have the Atriari into what I would have thought is an easy textbook take. It is not. It is, in point of fact, not an easy textbook take. Throw in first. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere with the throw in. Now, the actual game we play here. Let's assume they play here instead. This makes for a whole bunch of really interesting spots this game. For example, there are multiple ways you could continue this variation. You could take after that, and you could Atari after that, and you've now just given your opponent the ever so infamous B2 bomber shape, which we know is not all that great. And from here later on, you can maybe even go and live, right? You can like maybe do a couple of Atari here. Maybe go ahead and do like one here, because you can do the throw-in thing, and then you could be like, hey, and by the way, I'm not dead here. That would make for a pretty sad player, right? You go and live. So black takes the interesting option of saying, you know what? I don't care. Takes. Trying to focus on the outside. I commend. White's looking after themselves. Black is aggressively chasing. And then white says, enough of that. Enough of that. Enough. I poked you, I'm cutting you. Now what are you going to do? Gonna surround you. Isn't that an interesting thing? This is also one of the variations that the AI, at least fine art, didn't consider. It's not bad. The AI just wanted black or white to just chill and settle here. But, you know, Mr. KG, he's gonna get up all up in your face if he gets the opportunity to. So yeah, he goes like throws in, tries to get more stuff done. Trying to get more stuff done creates more Aji, which gives rise to this variation. Let's see, where did I leave off? The Atari? Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and play here, into the Hane, into the Killy there, into the take, into the connection. And here is our first throw of the game. Here is our first throw of the game. We Hane. Now, white doesn't want to Atari or Hane because I'm there and then there. So white cuts. What is white looking for here? White's like, okay. I don't want to have to capture that right now. And if you make me, I'm getting more points from it. That's all this move is saying. It's all this move is saying. Right? All it's saying. Forcing move. The reason why this is forcing move is because there's like a lot of annoying things here. If we don't play here, for example, one thing that you could do is play here. Because if we play this one, that would be a ko. If we play here, 2 to 3, still a ko. If we Hane, now we're just dead. So definitely forcing. If you know about the clampy times, which white does. Not a bad corner for white. Unfortunately, this is also the first mistake. Because black decides to not let white take those extra stones. Take those extra points. This is a huge mistake. Why? Why is it a huge mistake? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? T6? Endgame? Like, it's actually mind-boggling, this move. Lighthawk, 10 points to Gryffindor. Yeah, it's not Sente. It's not Sente. Let's go away real quick. So, with this on the field, if we play here, we can't Atari, right? So it's not a Liberty race, because we self-Atari. Either way we look at it, we self-Atari. So we can't capture. If Black had played here, this is Sente. Even though white will Atari in return, it's still Sente. Because then we get to play big moves that are well worth this right-hand side. Well worth it. With this happy, ever so lovely sequence, we take firm command of this game. Again, because territory here is not so interesting. This is healthy, but now, unlike what everyone on almost every internet server would do, stupid moves like this don't live. They'll play them. Oh, will they play them? But there's nowhere to go. They don't live. So we can actually anticipate this section here being solid points. If your opponent goes beyond the sector line right now, you can end them because there's just no Waji to work against. So huge direction mistake. He ended in Gote, which means, what is white going to do now? What's white going to do now, everyone? Oh, you know. You know. Yeah, white gets to come in now. The difference in the game is night and day. And it's because white apparently wanted to save themselves. I don't know. These points here, right? Maybe. Okay, actually, no. We don't even know if the two stones die. We technically don't know if they're dead yet. We don't know that. Because white has to take for them to be dead. Otherwise, we can connect and save them. So, painful mistake from a professional 9-dan. Black's like, that's fine. I can still attack. But the difference is you don't have that surround right now, and you haven't stabilized yourself here. So white's just like, ooh, area. Don't mind if I do. Looks like, hey, it's got a lot of room here. It's nice and comfy. There's plenty of space around. I can maybe I'll put a deck on here, and then I don't know, maybe do something over there. Can have a garden. There's a lot of room just for me to live in. You know, it's really good. Gets the forcing move. Still the defense. Now we have to attack. Like, we can't even surround. Like, we don't have the surround in place. If we had the surround in place, then yeah, you know that that white is dead. Instead, it's just like, hey, I'm out. Hey, I'm out. And now I will say, this board can be even, but it isn't a tremendously difficult fight. Poke, poke, poke. Max pressure. Trying to fight the cagey. Trying to fight the good old Mr. Cage. The cut is curious. But just turning and trying to escape that way, it's tough. It's tough, right? Extends down. This is a read. Takes the elephant eye. Don't leave force moves behind. Now here is again another one of those really interesting life and death problems. The next move is important both kind of for shape and for the liberties. Threatening to poke through because you can kill. That is Sente. Super important to score that one because you actually also get more liberties as a result of it. Then we can go back and play here. It is at this point that white has only like a 5% chance to win. Or lower. Not even sure. Because this went about as badly as you can possibly imagine. Spoiler, white wins this game. Despite the fact that black tried to throw. Black tried to throw here with this. But it's okay. He's going to throw again. The first one is simple. Keep yourself nice and solid. To take Sente, play the big move. We can all learn from that no matter what level of play you're at. If you're saying, no, that's not a lesson that I need to learn, then you must be stronger than a professional 9-dan. I congratulate you. The second one is just as easy. White tries to do something. There's nothing to do. This cut, very important to be able to read. And it's because of this stone that it actually works. It's an interesting one. Because we have the Atari here. We aren't going to have an Atari here. And the reason for that... Okay, sorry, we can't play that one, my bad. And the reason for that is because there's no ladder, right? We Atari here. We Atari back. So it's not a ladder. We Atari here. We get Atari there. Not a ladder. So this is held. Which means this middly bit is dead. Alright, so... we can't play that way. Which is why... instead of here... we now have this one. Because we know that this can't go anywhere. So as long as this can't do anything, all of this is dead. Smooth sailing for black. So how is he going to throw? How is he going to throw? Because he does. He does. White cuts, trying to get something done. Anything done he possibly can. Atari. That's Sente. Goes to Ko. And black apparently feeling so happy about this game. Just took that nice win that he had in his hands. It was like nice and like really, really big. And Nice and purdy. You can go ahead and like pet the nice win. He's like, who's a nice win? You are. Gucci Gucci. And he threw it in the garbage. All he has to do is play here. Because again, it's Sente. His opponent has to kill. Then he gets to defend. White has no chance after this to win. But instead, he had to go for more. Pop quiz chat. What on earth is worth this? What on earth is worth that? This is destabilizing this entire area. All of Black's points are destabilizing right now. Hane. And Hane. Black is trying as fast as he can to fix his shape, but it's too late because this is already screwed. Atari is now getting involved all of these again. Take. No captures anymore. So now what are you going to do? Now he's going to play there. But now this whole sequence is being screwed. Tries to go for more. It's at this point, White's in the lead. Because this will get reduced. It will. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just going to get reduced. These stones might not even be dead anymore. And take. Has to defend to try to keep the territory that he has. But now he's in trouble and he needs to not be dead. So he's trying to maximize his liberties and recover from his mistake. His opponent's going after all of the mistakes. Oops. Middle is no longer dead. All of that in exchange for the 5, 4, whatever number this is, stones. Like, think about how many territories this was a second ago. A minute ago? This was worth, let's see, 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was worth how many points? How many points? Was this worth close to 30 points? I think so. Now it's worth those 4 dead stones. Why did that happen? Because he just couldn't resist the Ko to try to go out. Now, to be fair, I respect that on some level. Even though he's ahead, he was not backing down from a challenge. I respect that. However, there is a degree of insanity you have to resist when you essentially have the game locked down in your favor. So that was Gote. Yeah, that capture was Gote. Which means he's now attacked here. Black's trying to do something. White's like, oh, hey, Ko, we meet again. Atari. We're going to keep that, thank you. And retake. And we're going to connect that, obviously, thank you. Attachment to try to surround and kill. But it's kind of giving away more to the bottom. It's so sad. Try to keep it dead. Doot into doot. Make sure that there's no cut here. So, all right. It's now Ko for the 4 stones, and white is already profiting on the bottom of the board. He's already profiting here. You feel bad for the 9 Don, man. Black's like, there's no way I'm connecting this. I can't, sir. Like, oh, okay, then I'll just retake. Putting pressured. It's like, hey, I got more forcing moves. At this point, Black's just like, no. I don't care anymore. I'm over it. So many territories for white. Nice, healthy corner. The entire bottom. He's got the top left and the top right. He's got some stuff that he's doing in the middle as well. Because remember, some of the stones here might die. Like, just imagine, I don't know. Maybe something as simple as an attachment here to just start killing more stuff? Turns. White's like, hey, I'm gonna kill everything. And Ko. And Ko. It's like, hey, I'm killing everything. He's like, stop. Please stop. I beg you to stop this. Oh, pain, pain, pain. This entire group, by the way, isn't completely alive just yet. It probably will, even if this lives, but it's not going to be fun. Back to Ko. It's like, hey, can I just, like, profit and make, like, 30 points here? White's like, Black's like, fine, I don't care. It's like, hey, thanks, don't mind if I do. Now, there is, the pain isn't stopping. Yeah. Do you see it, chat? You see it, right? You see it, right? Yeah. Black can't reduce yet. He has to hit this group again. Because if he tries to do anything else, it's me, Ko again. How you doing? So, like, oh man. Like, we all know that Mr. KG has a habit of smacking himself when he loses a game. I think he probably would have upgraded to a sledgehammer if he had still lost this at this point, because oh man, he is squeezing the crap out of Black, and it's Black's fault. He went to Ko. There's no reason to. And so all of these points that are now White's is because Black didn't take yes for an answer. It's Sente. Like, I don't know what kind of weird flex Lee was trying to do by actually entertaining the idea that they were going to play a Ko here. The top of the board, again, for players who are maybe a little bit newer to Go, we're talking about all of this being Black's territory. That's a lot of points. And you still have an attack that you can perform. That's a lot of points. But no, he didn't take yes for an answer. Just didn't take yes for an answer. So now we're here, trying to reduce. This is just flailing at this point by Black, unfortunately. No real chance to win. But he's going for a reduction. Oops. Sorry. There we go. This life and death is a little bit interesting. This is life and death is a little bit interesting because I can see how you might misread it. Because you might be thinking, well, if black plays here now, we take, and then there's the throw in, but then you do still get to play this one. So you'll have an I at T16. And if the Atari occurs here, you take throw in, you got the I at S1. So you have an I here, and then you've got like a 0.5 and like a 0.5 here, or whatever you want to call it. So you're all good. Interesting little throw-in little sequence. Looks like it might work, not quite. Can't quite kill. Goes in to try to reduce. That's obviously gets cut. Leaning to try to get something done. What's fascinating about this sequence in its entirety is little things like this one. Like, white's like, sure, connect up that. I'll swoop in here and take this. That's more than enough. I don't have to get crazy. So black's like, yeah, I can't allow you to do that. So white's like, I guess you're dead then. Obvious. Obvious. None of this is going to work. Got the Atari. Got some squeeze plays going on. Don't get me wrong. There are some squeezy. There are some squeezies. Right? But yeah, this is dead. Just making sure that we're all nice and fine. Making sure we're all nice and fine. But hey, maybe black can attack the top left now, maybe. Maybe something there, but nah. Way too big. This is going to be a nice 2, 4, 6, 8-point ice space on the corner. Yeah, he's fine. Tari here does nothing. Tries to go ahead and get some kind of co-action. And just like so, we are A-okay. Because after the Atari, the Hane here, we can Atari from B19, and it's all good. So at this point, yeah. Black goes ahead and resigns. Congratulations, White, I want to say. But, more importantly, how bad does Black have to feel? Because there's rarely such a cut and dry case of a professional throwing a game like this one. Oh, so rare. So rare. And it was little things that you would expect amateurs to know. It reminds me of, who was he? What was his name? Another Chinese player, Kong Ji. For a while, he was on top of the Go world for China, and he always had a reputation of playing one amateur mistake in every last one of his games. He'd always do something stupid. So this player reminds me of him. It's like, what is going on with those decisions, mate? Like this one here, maybe you can argue that he counted something and he wasn't really sure, but yeah, that is worth a bunch of points. Just take your stuff, solidify yourself, make a big thing. You're like a 20-point lead. Instead, he didn't. It got reduced, but it's okay. White made an oops and got killed. Didn't expect that one, but okay, yeah. Mr. KG made an oops and got killed. And all Black has to do now is just not go to Ko. All he has to do. Just don't go to Ko. Keep your territory. All those dead white stones in your area, yeah, they're going to stay that way. Got a new thing to attack. It's all chilling. Instead, instant collapse from the Ko. Instant collapse. Black tries to defend, and then the entire rest of the game, he's just like having to kill these stupid stones over and over and over. and over again. Ugh, that right there is a Murder Monday for you, let me tell you. Either way, hope y'all took something away from this game that perhaps helped yourself out as well. And as always, I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.